Welcome back, everyone. This is episode 23 of Minnesota Wild. Be a GM here on Dynasty Central Sports. Thank you for joining us today in this big episode as we are going to be jumping into the short month of February 2023, and we are going to be having the trade deadline at the end of this month. So thank you for joining us, and if you checked out last episode, you saw that we right now are in between the 500 mark. We're 24, 23, and 3, 6 in our division. So not looking great so far on this season. I thought we would do a little bit better, so we're just tooling up this roster a little bit more. Take a look at the month of February, what games are up on the docket. I think we're going to go with that Avalanche game on the 18th, a Saturday game, and then we got a couple more games to look out before we hit the trade deadline. Kirill Kaprizov leads the team with 43 points, Backstrom with 38, Connor Garland with 34 in 47 games, 29 games and 29 points in 38 games for Jesperi Kotkaniemi. And take a look at the rest of the stats on our team right now. Audette with 27, Hartman with 26, Puljujarvi with 22, and Spurgeon leading our defense with only 20 points. We need to get a little bit more punch from our defense, so might be looking in the offseason. Hopefully maybe we can boost that a little bit, maybe pick up an offensive defenseman, hopefully, but we'll see if we can figure that out. We got Caden Primo and Kaapo Kähkönen in between the net. Kaapo Kähkönen has been pretty much disappointing so far this season. I'm not really happy with how he's developing. Caden Primo has been playing well, but still not that great. So hopefully one of our prospect goaltenders, Hunter Jones or Jesper Wallstedt, is going to develop well. We got to start off with a loss against the Islanders. We got a shutout win over the Blue Jackets. Flyers are up in a 5-2 win. 6-2 loss against the Red Wings. Sabres 2-1 win. We're going to beat the Avalanche in a 2-1, 1-0 win. 3-2 shootout loss, and we got the Sharks coming up, and it's a 2-1 overtime win. So let's jump in at home. We're 29, 25, and 4 now after a nice start to start off February. Couple losses, and we're going to go in the reverse retro uniforms. They're going to be in their alternate dark blue, as they're not going to be in the reverse retros, as those are also white, so it'd be a little bit hard to see which team is which. The Avalanche, though, 16, 39, and 3. It looks like they're going to be rebuilding in the offseason, as they got Marc-Andre Fleury between the pipes. He's a bit old. 14-30 record for the Avalanche. Primo's 20-16-1 record with 4 shutties and a 2.44 goals against. Let's jump ahead and see how we do in this game after the opening started drop of the puck. We're at the 4:20 mark of the first period. The Wild putting on some pressure. Bowen Byram, though, has the puck, loses that. Tyson Barrie picks it up, passes that over to Palat. Andre Palat skates that through and tries to Dick Dangles. No, blocked off by the Wild. Wild skating it through the zone. That's a nice dangle. That's number 20, Nils Högler, sends that in front, and that's a big goal from Jesperi Kotkaniemi. Puts that right between the legs of Marc-Andre Fleury for his 10th goal of the season at the 53 mark of the first period. Jesperi Kotkaniemi tips that through the wickets, and the Wild jump on the board for the first goal of the game, as that was a great play from Nils Höglander, just sending that right across to the Finnish centerman Jesperi Kotkaniemi.
420.
He's tapping him on the pads. Good pass, good pass. We're jumping into the third period as the Avalanche got 3 goals on the board, as we took that absinthe, and Kirill Kaprizov sends that over to Robert Backstrom, as he's going to send that in the back of the net for his 24th goal of the season at the 2:17 mark of the third period. And the Wild are finally get something back on the board, 3-2, and the Robert Backstrom, the first overall pick. I've said that probably every episode now since we drafted him. He's played incredibly well for us in that 1C position with Kirill Kaprizov. And the wingers on the side, it's 3-2, but seconds are ticking off. An empty net. Avalanche try to get the empty net, but it's a big hit in the neutral zone. Wild have the puck now. They have the numbers 4-on-3 behind the net, and time is off the clock, and the Avalanche steal a win at Xcel Energy Center. As the Wild got a win at the beginning of the week, the 1-0 win, and that was one of probably Caden Primo's shutouts. And now the Wild give up a win to the Colorado Avalanche at home in front of a sellout crowd, as Caden Primo gives up the final game-winning goal, and then Robert Backstrom tries to get that last goal to get that momentum going. But we did get that goal, but we did not get the momentum. That was the game winner, as the Avalanche send that right past Caden Primo, and it's 3-2 loss. And that's the writing on the wall, as right now we are just teetering between an average team. So let's see, Stars, Jets, so we got loss. The Senators coming up. We got a 5-3 win, and let's enter trade deadline. At this point, I'd like to maybe pick up another offensive player. I know Connor Garland is coming up on a new contract. I don't know if I'd like to sign him long term. As much as I'd like to see him long term, I think we need to bring in someone with a little bit more upside, a little bit younger. Some of these players like Matthew Tkachuk, he's a great offensive winger, but he is not the offensive winger that I'm looking for. He's more of a physical player. Kings trade Johnny Gaudreau to the Predators for Philip Tomasino and a third-round pick. We got some of the players that are in the top 10. Thatcher Demko's up on the trade block. We got Dylan Larkin up there. And this is the guy I'm going to target, Alexander Holtz. Why? He's 21 years old, shoots right. We don't have a lot of right shooting players on our team. He's a right winger, and he is right up there with Robert Backstrom for the rookie scoring lead. So to bring him in, we're going to have to give up a big piece of our prospect pool as well. And someone that I believe might be a little bit more redundant in our roster right now, and that's Mikkel Whiting. And yeah, I just drafted him. I traded up to get him in that first draft of this series. But at this point, with Robert Backstrom, we don't need as much of a passing attack prospect in that side. So we're going to add him in a 4th-round pick to trade him for Alexander Holtz, and the Devils are going to accept this deal. Alexander Holtz, the scoring two-way forward, right-handed shooting Swedish winger, is coming over for Mikkel Whiting, the playmaking left-handed shooting left winger. Mikkel Whiting out of Sweden. So a couple Swedes going back and forth, an 83 for a 79, and they're almost about the same age. We're going to try to move Connor Garland because he's on that 1-year contract, and he's a little bit redundant now with Alexander Holtz on that side. We still have Pulu Järvi. We still got Ryan Hartman on that third line. So I don't think we need him, and we're not going to re-sign him. So let's try to trade him for some picks. And we're going to take this pick trade for a Rangers 2nd round and a Rangers 3rd round pick for Connor Garland. We're going to move him to the East Coast, and that's going to be the end of the trade deadline, as nothing else really happened besides those two trades in the Minnesota Wild side. I thought I was going to do a little bit more action on that side, but really couldn't find a lot of things, a lot of deals that I wanted to make. And really the roster, I do want to stick with the roster that we have. Yeah, I wanted to move on from Garland. I didn't expect to sign him, and wanted to get some picks for him, as well as moving Mikkel Whiting for Alexander Holtz. I think that was a very smart trade. In the end, it's a 4th round pick, which we re-got basically with a 3rd round pick from the Rangers for Connor Garland. And then we also picked up Alexander Holtz, a right winger, shoots right, scoring, Swedish. Can't expect anything better, and I'm happy with that deal. I'm excited to see how he gels with Kirill Kaprizov and Robert Backstrom on that top line. We got a 2nd round pick and a 3rd round pick from the Rangers for Connor Garland. Alexander Holtz we traded for, and then we traded Mikkel Whiting in that 4th round pick in this upcoming draft, which I'm not actually really excited for any of the prospects in this draft, so I might actually be trading out of this draft for some of these picks. Might keep a couple of them just to add a couple prospects to our depth pool, but really I'm not excited about any of the 1st round picks, so I might use that pick to try to pick up a big time defenseman in the at the draft. But right now we're at the end of February. We're at 30, 29, and 5. The writing is on the wall that we are not going to be making playoffs. So next episode, we're going to have all the month of March. We're going to have all month of April, which is only 3 games. And then we're going to finish up and go all the way to the end of, right the beginning of playoffs. And then the episode after is going to be all of off season and all of the draft. The 2023 NHL draft is going to be coming up in that episode. So 2 more episodes till the draft. Take a look at the stats after this month. We got Kaprizov still leading the team with 49 points. Backstrom with 47. Holtz now on the team with 46. Kotkaniemi with 42. Fiala with 37, 36, 32, 31, and Hartman and Höglander is 31. Puljujärvi only 2 points over this whole month. He's been pretty much disappointing this whole time. Spurgeon, like I said, only got 4 points. Greenway, Johansson, Brodin, Honka, Susi, Niku, Bennett, Sam Bennett, 12 games on the team, 6 points. And that's the end of this episode. Join us back for episode 24. It's going to be the month of March, the month of April, and we're going to finish up this season and then jump into the draft and off season, the episode after that. Like and subscribe down below. Thank you for supporting Dynasty Central Sports. Throw us down a comment. Love to hear from anyone that's watching these episodes, questioning what the trades I'm making, the deals I'm making, the outlook of the team. Throw us a comment. Love to respond to them. And thank you for watching. We'll see you later.